Hi, Shannon O'Flaherty here. We tend to focus on all of the bad stuff that we inherited from our parents, the limiting beliefs, the subconscious behaviors, the repeating patterns, all of that. And yeah, all of that does come from there. But we've also modeled a lot of really great stuff from our parents. And even if you think that your parents were the worst parents in the whole wide world, you still modeled some good things because kids will either completely replicate their parental uh, issues and repeat the same behavior and the same beliefs, or they'll see that aspect of their parents that they don't like and they'll think, no, I'm not going to make the same mistakes as them. So I'm so grateful that my mother was an alcoholic because I am not, because she was. I remember being 25 years old and noticing getting through a massive, I think we bought like a 5 gallon container of wine because we were 25, didn't know about good wine back then. And I saw how fast I'd poured a glass of wine and I thought, gosh, this is emptying pretty quickly. And I realized, well, my roommate didn't really drink wine. And it suddenly dawned on me that I had consumed all of that wine. And it absolutely terrified me because I realized I had that possibility that my whole family is filled with alcoholics, not just this generation, all the generations past. And I had dealt with all of that stuff with my mother, and it terrified me. So poured it back in, put the cork back on. And it's something I've always really paid attention to because alcohol, not good. And I'm not a great drinker because I drink one glass and then I'm drunk before I know it. And then I don't have that off switch. So that's something that I learned from one of the most traumatic things that I ever dealt with my mother was alcoholism. And I know that's an addiction. And so that's something that I really pay attention to all the time. In fact, all of the things that are addictive, sugar, caffeine, shopping, overdoing anything. I pay attention to all of that because of those addictive qualities. So that when I feel that I've been too excessive with something, I stop. I stop for however long I need to detox, to clean out, to just come back into balance. And that is a direct result of having an addictive parent. So maybe thank you, Mom. Like the alcoholics who've recovered, they say I'm a grateful alcoholic because of everything that they've learned. And also during that time when she was in AA and going through recovery, I went through the AA process with her. I made amends with people, all of that kind of stuff. So I grew along with her in that. So even though it was the biggest trauma, it was also one of my greatest gifts. So if your parent was abusive, maybe they hit you, maybe they screamed at you, and you remember how that felt as a kid. It wasn't fun, it wasn't good. And so maybe you picked up some negativity around that, some imprinting patterns. Maybe you get triggered by anger, maybe you get triggered by screaming, maybe you attract people who are abusive. I don't know. But maybe you thought, no, not going to do that. And so it made you not be a screamer, to be a calm person, to be more loving, to be more accepting. Maybe one of your parents was never there. So you felt that absence. You felt the lack of your parent being there when you were little. And so as you as a parent, you thought, no, I'm going to be there fully for my child. So you see how taking on the negative aspect of things can help you perhaps be a much better person, a more balanced person. Whatever your parents did that was so upsetting, you'll either repeat the pattern in one way, shape, or form, or you'll completely change it. So what do you do if you've already taken on some of the negativity of your parents? So a lot of people are not aware of the mirror thing, right? So when people are mirroring to you, you think, well, that I'm not like that, because you can't see it because it's in a different circumstance. It's in a different way, but the energy is the same kind of thing. There's a fabulous book. Of course, her name's going to go right out of my head this moment. It's called The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And yeah, her name's just gone right out of my mind. Look it up, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And she's got some wonderful exercises in there to find out how people are mirroring back to you. So if you notice that you're being triggered by especially one of your parents, if there's something that one of your parents does, a behavior that they do or something that they say that really annoys you, like look at that. Okay, feel what you're feeling, but really stop for a moment and look at that, because that annoyance is your information. It's annoying you because it's mirroring back some of the same behavior in you that might manifest in a completely different way for you in your lifetime, but that energy is the same. And if you know about that energy, that's the first stage to changing it. So you can look at that and think, oh, wow, well, how does that behavior show up in my life? How do I exhibit the same kind of things? How do I feel and think the same way that that behavior would exhibit? So we also model all of the good stuff. If your parents were loving and sweet and kind and generous and giving, you're going to pick up all of that good stuff too. But of course, we don't need to change that because that's all good stuff. So I know we're always focusing on the negative. However, sometimes that negative can be really, really positive. So you can easily reframe your life. Look at your parents in the lightest way possible, because they were only doing the best they could with the limited knowledge they had at the time. We've come a long way from Dr. Spock telling us how to be parents, right? The beliefs about how we raise our kids have changed dramatically over the years. And of course, the best one is to use your intuition. If you have any doubt about anything, pay attention to that. Your intuition is your guidance system. Your anger is your guidance system. When you're triggered, it's your guidance system. Don't just be in that negative emotion. Look at it and see what's really going on underneath. And then you'll see all of the wonderful gifts from your parents, and you'll see how you can take that and turn it around and turn your life into one of the most beautiful experiences that you can have. If you think you need help with that, I'd really love to have a conversation with you. Book a free mind shift call, 20 minutes. You could have a major aha moment in your life. Love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.